This is the Reading and Learn Math for 7.2. They tell you what an exterior angle is and remote interior angles if you have forgotten. True or false? If the statement is false, explain why. If a triangle has one right angle, then it will have one acute and one right angle as the other two angles. Well, if you have two right angles in a triangle, that's already 180 degrees. You have no other room for another acute angle. This is false. If it's a right triangle, you're going to have two acute angles. No right angles. Part B, the measure of the exterior angle of a triangle is greater than the measure of its two remote interior angles. The measure of either of its two remote interior angles. That's true. Here's an exterior angle. It's going to equal the two remote interiors added together, so it's definitely bigger than either of them by itself. The measure of the exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the measure of the two remote interior angles. That's true. Number 2, use the figure. Find the value of the variable for each situation. Explain how you find the value. So the measure of angle 1, they're telling you is A. The measure of angle 3 is 50. And the measure of angle 4 is 65. Notice how I kind of wrote that equation as I went. I knew that angle 1 was an exterior angle. I knew angle 3 and 4 were remote interiors. So if you add those together, you get that angle measure. B, if the measure of angle 1 is 120 and the measure of angle 3 is 55, find the measure of angle 4, or N. Well, these two together must add up to 120. So I'm going to do 120 and I'm going to subtract 55. And I'm going to get 65. Part C, if the measure of angle 1 is 5C minus 8, the measure of angle 3 is 42, and the measure of angle 4 is 3C plus 10. Find the value C. Well, this is your exterior angle. It's going to equal your two remote interiors added together. So I'm going to clean this up over here. I'm going to call this 3C plus 52. I'm going to subtract 3C from both sides. I'm going to add 8 to both sides. And I'll divide by 2. C is going to be 30. I could plug back in, see if my answer is correct also. Number 3, explain why Theorem 7.5 is true for any triangle. Well, Theorem 7.5 says if you have a right triangle, then these two angles are acute. Well, I know these two angles together must add up to 90 because 90 plus another 90 together gives you 180. If both of these together add to 90, then both of them have to be acute because the only way you can get a sum of 90 is by adding two numbers that are less than 90.